and it's made from scratch in our kitchen.
Stop in or order online today.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
KXNO AM Des Moines, KXNO FM Ankeny, KKTM HD2 Des Moines. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, sports talk, and podcasts. Miller and Condon on 106.3 KXNO is sponsored by TC Sports LLC.
Congratulations to KXNO on their silver anniversary, 25 years on the air in Iowa, being the home of sports talk radio.
We're giving you a chance to experience everything Circa has to offer with a trip along with your favorite KXNO personalities.
The next KXNO Silver Ticket Tour will bring you to Las Vegas and Circa for 4 days, 3 nights. Go to KXNO.com to sign up and have a chance to experience Circa with KXNO and the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
And we hope to see you soon at Circa.
Live from the TNT Landscaping and Nursery Studios, you're listening to 106.3 KXNO. Miller and Condon on the Iowa Sports Radio Network and 106.3 KXNO.
All right, good afternoon. Welcome, Miller and Condon on a Thursday. The Iowa Sports Radio Network. Trent Condon, Ken Miller for the next couple of hours to talk sports with you. Appreciate you starting your afternoon with us. Here's what's coming up on our program. A lot of baseball as far as our guest list goes today, including we're going to go way back in the Wayback Machine, 25 years ago. A story from earlier in the week, the anniversary of the 25th year of Iowa State ending their baseball. I want to go back and kind of relive some of those moments, what it was like and what it was like to be a member of that team. And one of the members of that team, pitcher Mark Hanrahan, is going to join us, and we'll go back down memory lane with Mark coming up here at the bottom of the hour. Cappy kicks off hour number 2. Guessing he'll be fired up to talk with us about the Cubs, who are in a full-fledged fall as we speak, as the Brew Crew goes in and sweeps them in their 3-game series. Cappy coming up. Where's the Bears going to play their home games? Has that been decided, or they kick the can down the road again? So Cappy at 1 o'clock, and then because you asked, we'll deliver a little Cardinal conversation with Brian Walton, the CardinalNation.com. The Cardinals, who, oh, by the way, wake up this morning in second place behind the Brewers and ahead of the Cubs in the National League Central. Trent will make some plays, sponsored by Circus Sports, basketball, hockey, and baseball tonight. And away we go. Good to see you, TC. How are you?
Doing okay.
Good.
Missed you the last couple of days.
Did you?
I've been walking wounded, and so yeah, just missed having you in here. Nick did a great job filling in for you the last couple of days, but it's just always good to hear your voice. And as the Cubs have been falling apart here, I was ready for your rants.
Yeah, and PCA, these back-to-back days, can't catch a ball, and then lets one get under his glove, go to the wall, and decides. I mean, he hesitated for a minute. I'm not sure they would have been able to get the speedy third baseman or not, who was in full flight rounding the bases for a Little League home run. But, yeah, this Cubs team, like the Brewers, they're getting their guys back. Pat Murphy's a phenomenal manager, and the Cubs are still favored to win the division. What am I missing? It sure doesn't look like – I get it. It's one series.
Yes.
But the Brewers are they're just a salty group.
They are up and down the lineup,
year after year after year. So, anyways, we'll talk to Cappy. Look forward to doing that. So, what have I missed in the last couple of days? Obviously, Jamie Pollard's comments got a lot of run. Is it a case of be careful what you wish for in this part?
Oh, absolutely.
Because haven't you been? This is the nuclear option, right?
Yes. This is the worst case scenario for Iowa State.
It is. And why is Pollard? Well, just leave then.
Because I think he maybe feels it's inevitable that it's going to happen. Because if it plays out in this fashion, and we see a separation of the SEC
and I want to make very clear, I hope it doesn't happen.
Yes. If it plays out in that fashion, they're not going to play basketball, baseball, softball tournaments only against each other. It will be a new formation of the NCAA with those two heavy heads running things. Mm-hmm. And they can structure football however they want. Mm-hmm. And if it was just that level of football, only those two conferences are playing for their national championship.
And let's be clear, it's 34 now, but it won't be 30. You think Notre Dame's not going to find a home?
Absolutely.
Right.
If it plays out that way, and North Carolina's going to find a home.
And Duke's going to be left behind? No.
We'll see. If it's football only,
Oh, if it's football,
If it's football only for that championship, and then the other championships fall under the preview of what the SEC and the Big Ten want, things are going to look a lot different. This is a bad thing for Iowa State.
It is.
Iowa
And
State's
not just Iowa State. A whole bunch of teams in the Big 12. A whole bunch of teams in the ACC.
What can you do if you are the Big 12 to
Pipe down, speak when you're spoken to?
But that's what it's been for the last year. And the Big Ten and the SEC can't get together and figure out what they want to do and what their structure wants to be.
Look, I will say that I get Pollard's argument. I mean, they sat down and they came to an agreement.
Yes.
And that agreement was very quickly broken because they realized, well, there's no enforcement.
Right. We're going to fly past the cap because it's not a real cap.
Right.
Now, he said 2 conferences. He's got a team in West Texas that's doing the exact same thing in his conference, and maybe even worse than anybody else. So what Cody Campbell and company are doing at Texas Tech.
Yeah.
But that aside, it's not going to just be the current 18 for the Big Ten and the 16 for the SEC. They would take whoever else they want.
Yeah.
And those other programs, the Notre Dames, the North Carolinas of the world, they have a seat at the table.
Yeah.
But Iowa State and K-State and Oklahoma State, those are the ones that are going to be left behind. And then big picture, what does that mean? Not just for football, but for all of your athletic department.
I agree with you. Look, he's not wrong with what he said about the fact that they are circumventing the cap. I get it. He's fed up with it. I do appreciate the fact that that he's willing to go out there and to put that out in public. But I don't know what the bottom line is here. I don't know how this can ultimately lead to change. He's not in the driver's seat.
No.
Doesn't have the cards.
And that probably has to be frustrating.
Absolutely would be. It absolutely would be. And look, we'll see where it goes. I hate the way it's going. I'm glad I'm getting out. I mean it.
But you're still going to watch.
Of course. But I don't, look, I'm old. I want the newspaper at my front door. That's not coming to
No.
Right. I wish the college athletics would be, you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. When I was pounding my chest for these athletes got to get paid, in no world that I think 10 million was the number, 6 million, whatever the going rate may be. It's just crazy.
And it doesn't look like there's going to be help coming from Capitol Hill.
No.
That is basically dead on. Well, it hasn't even got on arrival, and they've been working on that thing for 5 years. There's no solution that makes sense. Well, yes, there's one solution.
It's the worst solution.
Well, the easiest solution to make all this mess go away is make them employees. And then you can have contracts and you can have everything else that goes along with it and actually put everything above board. So at least we know the rules we're playing by. In order to do that, you have to make them employees. But we have private institutions, public institutions, different laws in different states to make that a reality. It's incredibly difficult, but that is the only path. But the colleges, the universities, the athletic departments, they are going kicking and screaming to that. Because on top of it, are you going to lose your tax-exempt status? There's a lot of different angles that make that difficult, and that's why we just haven't seen it.
Yeah, you're right. I agree with you. Look, Iowa State can go over the cap. All these schools can go over the cap. Maybe they're not in spot to go over the cap, and I think that's probably a big factor as well. All right, the 2014 playoff. The meetings have wrapped up in, boy, did you see where the Big Ten meetings were held?
Oh, absolutely.
Holy mackerel.
Gosh.
What a place. What a beautiful setting that is, right on the ocean, right on the on a bluff. What a gorgeous spot.
We don't have enough money, though.
No. And then why would Pete Thamel, he goes on ESPN, and I love where we live. Why would he take a shot at Des Moines? It's not like they're staying at the Marriott in Des Moines. He could have picked any other city, right? Any other city. I think Lincoln's, a beautiful place.
Yeah.
There's waves and mountains and lake. No, why Des Moines? Why do we get picked on all the time?
It probably just jumped into
I
that.
guess it did, but it bothered me anyways. 'Cause I love this place. But the 2014 playoff, it's all about money.
Right.
It's all about money. And yes, it's getting close to the NFL, but you know what? The NFL model works. It works. And the basketball expanding to 76, it's all about the cash. We get that. It's when the students are getting paid, when these programs are being not forced, but responsible for paying for all of the other sports. It's not like they're going down in price. You have to get it somewhere. And
So
that's where it's coming from.
one interesting angle, and I think this was from the Ross Dellinger piece of Yahoo, $200 million collectively. That's what conference championship game weekend is worth. Now, almost half of that, $100 million, is the SEC. That's what they are making, both television and everything, all the ancillary things that come along with it. You're having
What
to
does
find
the
a
Big
way.
Ten make if the SEC's make it 100?
Much less than that.
Wow.
It's because it's a combined 200 billion between all the conference
Mhm.
championship games. Even if the Big Ten's 50, you're talking about a remaining 50 for the ACC, Big 12, Sun Belt, all the way through. But that's the number you're shooting for. You have to find a way not
Recoup that.
not just recoup that,
Go past that.
but if you're going to do that,
Yeah.
go past it.
Sure.
And finding how that makes sense. When the first round playoff games were up for bid in this current 12-team structure, the 4 games that we currently had, they're worth around $25 million each. That's what kind of the industry thought process is behind it. Those games are worth about 25. You add an extra, you add an extra 12 games to that to get to the 24-team bracket. Well, even if they're about 20 million, a little bit less than the 20, you're there. You've passed it
Mhm.
at that number. But that means involving Fox's negotiation,
Yeah.
the streamers,
.coms.
Netflix,
Yep.
Amazon Prime, those
Yep.
kind of places, getting them in there. I think it's a realistic goal that you can hit because you look through. And the one argument that drives me absolutely crazy, and I mentioned yesterday, Stuart Mandel has been beating this drum nonstop, is, you know what? The regular season is going to completely fall
please.
apart
No, it's not.
because this huge matchup between,
Hang on a second. I thought it already fell apart when we went to 12.
oh, yes, that was out there too,
Uh-huh.
is this huge matchup between Ohio State and Indiana that we saw in the Big Ten championship.
Mhm.
Say that's a regular season game, both teams are undefeated. Well, nobody cares.
Yeah, please.
Come on. Well, they're both in the playoffs, so nobody's going to watch.
Just seeding. How about that?
Right, absolutely. Home playoff game, so many things. And then the other part that I think is going to help immensely is here, selfishly, Iowa,
Mhm.
Iowa State. They're sitting going into November at 6-2, and you look
Need
at
to win
that.
badly.
Absolutely. And they're taking on another 6-2 Illinois team.
Yeah.
Iowa State's taking on BYU, who's also
I
6-2.
keep waiting for Black Friday, Nebraska and Iowa to have ramifications like this.
Well, Iowa always has ramifications.
right. Nebraska doesn't hold up their end of the bargain.
They're
I
your
keep
problem.
waiting for that.
Well, don't hold your breath.
No, I know. I mean, I get it.
But that is what you're going to have across the country. And suddenly, are you going to watch a ho-hum 7-3 Ole Miss against 7-3 Auburn game?
Mhm.
But you got playoff
Mhm.
complications on them. Like that is the part of it that I think everybody is going to invest more into the middle tier of these conferences.
Right.
There's going to be more there, and you're not going to turn off LSU, Alabama because both teams are in. Who cares?
Yeah.
Come on. I'm not going to
Seeding.
watch Ohio State, Michigan, the last game of the year because both teams are 10-1. They're both going to get a bye, so I'm not going to watch that. It's an idiotic thought process.
What about conference champion? If we are moving up to week 0 is going to be week 1.
Mhm.
Could we on Thanksgiving weekend? Could we play conference championships then?
They're dead.
They're dead.
They're dead. I think
Too much football.
No, just reading through the football part of it and reading through these meetings and all the different reporters that are out
So
there.
would we start the playoffs on that first weekend in December then?
Yes, that is when the playoffs would begin. So you get the opening round matchups splitting into the 16-team bracket.
So come hell or high water, we're not going to play college football late to January because that
Yes.
seems to be something that most people are. I'm good with it.
Coaches are against
Yeah.
it.
No, I get it. Yeah.
I go back to 2 years ago. We had Ohio State, Notre Dame playing for a national championship, and there was no buzz.
Yeah.
We had
That's
Ohio
true.
State and Notre Dame.
Mhm.
And
Because
there
was there a wild card weekend or was the divisional round in the playoffs?
was one of the two that was wrapping up. I think it might have been coming off the divisional round. But when you have those two blue bloods and it doesn't generate the kind of interest that you have,
Well, it had some buzz, but not the level that it should have.
absolutely.
Right.
Where if you put that before the NFL playoffs begin, the NFL is king.
Mhm.
And we see colleges, they
So
have
you want it over the first weekend in January?
by like the 8th, 9th, 10th, yeah, right in that range, something
Where
like
it
that.
used to be.
Yeah, where the Monday kind of falls. I think that,
Mhm.
and we've seen it numbers wise, television number wise. I
No,
think
it'd
that
have
works
to be
best.
Tuesday because the NFL's taking that Monday night for wild card.
5.
Right.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Right, I
that's
get it.
Yep. But finish it up then. We just know college football, it works better with that kind of calendar.
Mhm. Fascinating. I think it's coming. I mean, the ACC's behind it, the Big 12's behind it, and obviously the Big 10 is full speed ahead with it. We'll see if the SEC gets on board. So we've seen some point spreads released today. I saw David Eichel tweet out the Cyhawk line. How do you bet this game today?
Well, you don't know anything about
I
it.
don't know about any team, either team.
I think the only way that you can do it
It's
is you
12
think,
and a half, by the way. I was favored 12 and a half at FanDuel.
if you believe that Iowa State's just going to stink. Like, they're going to be really bad.
And their win total is 5.5.
Yes. I believe that's right. If memory
When I
serves.
checked it, Bet Rivers.
If that's your belief that this new group, taking a step up in competition coming from Washington State and coming to the Big 12. That is just not going to work. If that's your thought process, I can understand taking Iowa. Or the other way, well, Iowa struggled so many times in this game where they have had advantages.
And where we had a better idea what the team was going to be like.
Absolutely. Where you just take that angle too. Iowa doesn't know who their quarterback's going to be. You're replacing 3 offensive linemen. We're hearing about wide receivers, but we've heard that plenty of times in the past. That doesn't work. The defensive line has huge questions to tackle.
By the way, you've had a kicker that's been automatic for the last decade.
Your special teams are a huge question mark. The guy that has run those special teams,
he's gone.
He's gone at Michigan State. There is a lot there that you can point the other way and say, yes, I'll grab those 12 and a half easily.
Right.
You can make the argument on both sides. At least there's one out there, though. I like having that out there.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Now that we've got something to go by, right? And it also said on that, although I think that's not set in stone, 2:30.
That was, just
FanDuel just put up a
placeholder.
Yes, a placeholder. Okay.
Yep.
So we don't know that.
No, absolutely not.
There's a chance it is 2:30, though, right? Or
I think there's a better chance it's under the lights.
Do you? Like 6, 7?
Under the lights. Exact time, who knows? But yes. I will just put that out there.
It was 2000. What was the crazy game? 2002.
2002. Yep.
It was 5:00 kickoff. That was 5. Yeah. I love games at night.
Maybe NBC 6:30.
Wouldn't that be something?
I got that.
Hearing that?
Rumblings. I'm not reporting.
And when would it be? I mean, we're getting to the point now that these first 2 or 3 weeks are usually it's Memorial Day weekend.
Yes. Yeah. This is getting to be the time. Yes. Probably next week we'll start to.
Wait, by the way, it's weird looking through the glass with your arm on your
I
head.
know. I've been paid.
Apparently so. You haven't moved since we started our conversation.
This is the only way I could get relief, so I'm fine.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, let's do the baseball because we're at the first checkpoint in baseball. We'll go back to the point spreads. I think Iowa's first game is out as well. It's a big number. But the one that matters, obviously, is the Cy-Hawk line. Right now, at FanDuel, is FanDuel or Caesars? FanDuel, I think, is favored by 12.5. When it comes to baseball, in the first checkpoint, there's usually these are what we kind of go by: Memorial Day, All-Star break, 1st of September, and then you get to the end of the year. As for checkpoints, what's the biggest story in baseball to you?
The biggest story in baseball,
let's do the positive.
The Rays.
Yeah,
I mean Tampa doing it again. They took a little bit of a downturn. All right,
a White Sox fan rather just walk behind.
Yeah, it's not the White Sox. Nobody cares.
Nice story.
Nice story. Yeah, they're not going to make the playoffs. They're not going to be involved. Okay, a story for a couple months. It's the Rays having the best record in the American League, and they are going to be a factor come September.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
That's different.
I think the Yankees ultimately will catch them.
I think so too.
But I do believe that the Rays are going to be around. Can you make the case that the Cardinals in the National League are one of the stories of the year, positive-wise?
I think so.
They're 28-20.
I would probably still lean towards the Braves because they've just been so devastated by injury the last 2 seasons. And because of that, I think
the Cardinals were in a, quote, we're not rebuilding, but we are rebuilding mode.
Yes, yeah.
Right.
And to be right there in contention, to be a game and a half back in the division, to look like a team that maybe has who has more staying power, the Cardinals or the White Sox?
This year?
This year.
Oh, my God, that's a good question. Who has more staying power this year? I have no idea.
I think it's the Cardinals, and I don't think it's close.
You do?
I do, yeah.
You realize
even as awful as the Central is in the American League.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I think that's the reason I would maybe make it the White Sox because, yes, the Guardians are a good story, but the Brewers are a really good team.
I don't think the Guardians are going to fall apart, though. And they're still going to win that division, maybe with 83, 84 wins, but they'll win it. And I don't see the White Sox being there in the end. The Cardinals, I don't know how. One thing I have seen, I believe they have the best record in one-run games this season.
The Redbirds do?
Yes. Is that something that's sustainable?
Normally, no.
Usually not, but there are those certain seasons that definitely does happen, and that is the case. But I like the Cardinals story. I really do. I'm excited to talk to Brian a little bit more. Obviously, been watching them more here recently just because they're not part of it. Now I have to watch my Twins because they stink.
They're bad, Trent. They really are bad.
Joe Ryan was good.
What's the worst? What's the biggest surprise on a negative scale? Could you make the case it's the Royals or the Tigers in that division?
I would definitely say the Tigers of the two.
Yeah.
The Tigers were the favorite in the division coming into the season.
Yep.
The Royals, maybe you can kind of find a path.
I thought that they would be in contention maybe with the Guardians for the second best team in that division. I thought the Tigers were going to run away. They're in last place.
But if we look outside of our Midwest outposts, it's still the Mets. The Mets.
See, I thought they were going to stink all year long.
To stink this bad? You thought this was going to be a team that was going to win on pace to win 68 games?
No, I thought they'd be a little better than that. That's fair. That's true. I didn't think they'd be looking up the Marlins and the Nationals. I didn't think that they would compete with the Phillies and the Braves. The Mets are bad, and they haven't. They still got Mendoza.
Right.
What are we doing?
I have no idea. It's got to have
this is the richest owner in baseball.
Mm-hmm. It's not like it's going to really hurt to fire the manager and pay him off and bring in a new manager. That's not going to be a big issue for him. But with the payroll, I definitely say it has to be the Mets.
Circa came out with their contest prizes, their guarantees, etc. for their contest. By the way, Mike Palm joins us tomorrow at 12:30. Always look forward to catching up with Mike. The guarantee is now $20 million in Circa Survivor.
It's incredible.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. And
I won't even put Grandissimo out there because I don't think our audience. We've got a $100,000 buy-in in amongst our audience.
But that one went up.
You did,
and I think they're going
$6 million.
to. Yeah, I think they're going to certainly push towards those entries and push past that number as well. But the $20 million guaranteed, and it's all these numbers that throw out there. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger. The contests are incredibly fun. They're interesting. I think they're really fun for what we do too, just watching and thinking and playing with it after our entries are ultimately knocked out within the first couple of weeks.
Yeah.
It's still playing and thinking how you play through these different situations. And when we get to Thanksgiving, and when we get to Friday, and we get to Black Friday, and we get to, of course, the Christmas, it's a 20-week contest, not just 18, and just how much more difficult that makes it.
It does. And with all of those marquee teams playing on Thanksgiving Eve, Thanksgiving Day, and then you get to the weekend. Or is Black Friday included in week 12, quote A? I think it is. Is it Thanksgiving Eve, the 3 Thanksgiving, and the Friday game?
Believe so, yes.
I think so. And then you got to come right back and get through Sunday. It's a fascinating contest. It's more difficult than it seems. It's $1,000 buy-in, but the prize is $20 million. Look, you're not going to spend $1,000 on lottery tickets.
Yes.
Maybe over time you have. I know I have. But we'll see. We will get to Mike Palm tomorrow. Look forward to catching up with him. We did have $1,000 winner in the building.
Yes.
I'm led to believe. Was it Sean and Lucas's show?
Don't remember.
Was it yours?
It was not.
I think it was the afternoon show. But regardless, KXNO finally had a winner in this bad boy. Let's see if we can stack them up together, shall we? Head to KXNO.com or whatever station you happen to be listening to on the Iowa Sports Radio Network. If you don't know what that is and you want to go to KXNO, you're fine to do from anywhere. Once you get there, a pop-up box will appear. Type the keyword bills. Bills at KXNO.com. Your chance to win $1,000. Real quick from last night. Spurs and OKC. OKC had to win the game.
Yes.
Did you take them and lay the points last night?
I did. I was on OKC side, and I was incredibly nervous throughout the course of that one because the Spurs,
they're a tough team, Trent.
They really are.
I think they're going to give the Thunder all they want.
Yes. This thing is going.
How do you stop this guy?
6-7. I think it's going to be nip and tuck. And I came in, as I told you, before the series began. I thought it was
all OKC.
There's a coordination for OKC. Worst case scenario might be 4-2, but you were going to see the domination from the Thunder. And my mind has completely changed that not only the Spurs steal a game, but they are alive to win this series. And,
yes, and if they win this series, don't you feel that way that whoever comes out of the East is just fodder?
I think so.
I do.
Yeah. The Knicks' comeback was incredible.
Well, it was. It was amazing to watch. I think it was Cleveland fatigue at that point.
Yes.
Back-to-back 7-game series, day off, come to New York and take them on, got out to a big lead, wasted all your energy. I mean, Trent, they were just standing around. And then once it got to overtime, you knew if you had Cleveland.
As I did, plus the points.
Oh, you did.
I also had the under.
No, you didn't.
OT.
What was the live line? So
I grabbed
fourth quarter, Knicks are down 22 plus the 6.5 in the point spread. So they needed to erase a 29-point deficit.
Yeah.
Any idea what the live line was?
So I looked. It was right when they took. I didn't just look. I jumped on it. They cut it to
jumped on it
to 12. I grabbed the Knicks. They were plus 850. Well, I can bring it up here. And I grabbed the points. That's what I did first. And then like a minute later, I think they hit a bucket to make it 10. I'm like, I'm just going to grab on the money line too. I can find what it was, but
It had to be double digits, right?
it was big at that point. Felt like, because you could feel that momentum shift.
Without a doubt.
And that's the part. You see
The
this
Garden was dead silent all night. until
throughout
that.
the course of the NBA playoffs. There's just those moments that you can feel. Live betting the NBA, for my money, is still my favorite sport.
Really?
Playoff basketball, live betting, it is for me because we see this happen. Not to this degree. Not 22-point lead erased
Mhm.
in 7 minutes and 48 seconds or whatever
It's
it is.
unbelievable.
That doesn't happen often, but you see teams that come back. I think I got 13 and a half. The number, it's not loading up right now, but regardless, yeah, it was a big number. When they got it to 10, I felt okay. Threw a half unit in there just to have a little bit of fun,
Uh-huh.
but would have been better if I would have been able to hit my full bet.
Yeah.
The Cavs plus 7.5.
Mm.
That one was
And you had
definitely
to feel
frustrating.
great about that.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
you got 7.5, so you even got more.
Yes, 7.5. So here it is. I got the Knicks plus 12.5. This was at 9:28. And then I came back at 9:30, 2 minutes later. Knicks were 12-1 at that point. I know it was a 10-point game at that point when I jumped
So
aboard.
this was 22-1. I wonder what that live line was
Oh,
at that point.
monstrous.
Massive,
Yeah.
right?
50, 60, 71.
Had to have been. Had to have been.
But do they put it that high? Usually not.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel like it.
Yeah.
You're probably not getting the true odds of what it actually
Mhm.
is live.
Mark Hanrahan was a member of the 2001 Iowa State men's baseball program when they folded up shop. Going to ask Mark to go back down memory lane as they hit the 25th anniversary of the demise of baseball at Iowa State. I want to pick his brain on what it was like. Was there ever a point in the waning weeks that you thought maybe this thing could be saved? Anxious to talk to Mark about those things. We'll do it on the other side. Cappy kicks off hour number 2. More on the Cubs, where the Bears going to call home, and then Brian Walton on the Cardinals, Miller and Condon on the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
I love cottage cheese. It's a great source of protein and goes with so many meals. And AE Dairy makes the absolute best. They've been making cottage cheese since the 1930s with so many flavors too, including AE Dairy's latest Parmesan garlic cottage cheese. Creamy AE Dairy cottage cheese meets bold Parmesan and garlic for a savory twist you didn't know you needed. AE Dairy Parmesan garlic cottage cheese is now in stores. Get product info and great recipes at aedairy.com.
The world's largest sports book in Las Vegas is available right at your fingertips in Iowa. Trent Condon here for Circa Sports. The Circa Sports Iowa app is sports betting the way it should be. Bet anywhere in Iowa and experience high betting limits, tight money line splits, and exceptional customer service. Download your new bookie today. Visit circasports.com and start betting like a pro from anywhere in Iowa. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
When it comes to family law, a lot has changed in recent years, so assumptions can be costly. If you see or sense a change coming in your family life that could have legal implications, it's important to know where you stand. What are your rights and responsibilities? Getting good legal advice early is never a bad idea. I'm Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. If you or anyone you know is facing a family law issue, start with a consultation. Visit CordellCordell.com.
Hey everyone, Chef Brandon here. The Burger Shed is your go-to for handcrafted burgers and real ice cream shakes. Try the Shed Burger, stacked high with smoked brisket, the Farmhouse Burger with a fried egg, hash browns, and bacon jam, or the cheesy Mac Attack. We've also got Shed favorites like our pork tenderloin and smoked turkey Reuben. Add in local beers and big screen TVs, and you've got the perfect spot for game day and every day. Burger Shed, Bass Boat Drive in Altoona. Burgers, beers, and a whole bunch of BS.
Voters are listening to the radio. Tons of them. If you're running for office, radio is where people are actually tuned in, not swiping past ads. Connect with communities everywhere and get on the air in just 48 hours. Visit winwithiheart.com. That's winwithiheart.com.
At Kia of Des Moines, it's been 1 year since the unveiling of our new state-of-the-art showroom. So we're celebrating all month long. It's our anniversary sale, and you get the gift. Shop and save on all of your favorite new Kias, with financing as low as 0.9% for 60 months. Don't miss the anniversary sale going on now at Kia of Des Moines. Shop KiaDM.com. With approved rent for well-qualified buyers. Valid on new 2026 Kia Sportage models. $1,705 per thousand finance month. Lost finance from KMF. It expires 6/1/26.
Hey, John, why so glum? I just got let go. The company's downsizing.
This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. Mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Hey, Mom, now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit.
Okay, Rockstar. Let's look at your account. When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. Oh, and maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything. Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Account subject to approval. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
More with Miller and Condon in 60 seconds. Right here on 106.3 KXNO.
Hey guys, it's us, the Jonas Brothers. I'm Joe.
I'm Kevin.
And I'm Nick. And guess what? We created our own podcast called Hey Jonas.
We invented a podcast?
Well, we didn't invent it. We just contributed to it.
We're the first people to do podcasts. We get to ask other people questions because we're sick and tired of being asked questions.
Well, sick and tired is a strong way to put it, but,
Tired and sick.
tired and sick.
Listen to Hey Jonas on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow Hey Jonas and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
If recent hail may have impacted your home, contact Wolf Roofing. Our Hague certified inspectors provide free, honest assessments the Wolf way. And Wolf Roofing has been serving Central Iowa and the state of Iowa since 1993. If you're concerned about hail damage, reach out to Wolf Roofing. Free Hague certified inspectors deliver accurate, insurance trusted roof assessments you can rely on. Thorough, honest, the Wolf way. Check out Wolf Roofing online, wolfroofing.net.
You're listening to Miller and Condon.
You can see it wide open
On 106.3 KXNO and the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
Hi, Miller and Condon. Welcome back. Iowa Sports Radio Network. Trent and Ken with you until just before 2 o'clock. David Kaplan coming up to kick off hour number 2. As promised, Mark Hanrahan was 25 years ago that Iowa State folded up baseball. I was watching, I'm on Twitter all the time, as you know, our friend Chris Shipley, Three Beards Media over there, did a kind of a look back, and that's where I got the idea, as Mark Hanrahan was a part of it, and said, hey, wait a second, I can know Mark Hanrahan. I've got his cell phone number, and reached out to Mark, and I wanted to talk about this as well. Mark, Trent and Ken, thanks for coming on. 25 years, man, flown by. I recall, not as vividly as you, obviously, but I don't think it got the coverage, Mark. Can you think back to that time? Did it? And I don't think websites were a thing. Maybe if they were, they certainly weren't a big thing back then. Did you guys feel that you were kind of alone on an island trying to hold this together? Did it get the coverage that the story should have deserved?
Well, it was a pretty wild time. Those days there. That next day we played Iowa, and there was cameras from ESPN there. Every local station. Bryce Miller did like a full page spread about it, like 2 or 3 times.
Good.
Once when it happened, and then again our last home game, and again our last game. So there was a lot of coverage. A lot of guys were getting pulled for interviews here and there. I think we were really overwhelmed having to play that next day, and just we did. It's like it got a lot of attention. Yeah, websites weren't much. Yep. There was some. I think my mom would print articles off of the Des Moines Register.com or Cyclones.com.
They were free at the time too, probably at the Register. Yeah, Mark, we're having a tough time with your cell phone. We're going to call you right back. Do you have his number? You there, Mark?
Yeah.
We're having a tough time with your cell. Well, let's forge on.
Okay.
I'll send you the number, TC, just in case we mess up. So did you go into the season, Mark, knowing that this could be the last season of baseball? Refresh my memory. When were you guys told that it's over? Was it that late in the process, or was there any hints leading up to this?
So I'll say, so when I was in high school I got recruited to Iowa State out of high school, chose to go to a junior college. there were some rumors at that time that baseball might be in trouble, and that was one of the reasons why I chose to go to junior college and hoping to play in the SEC later on too. But then when I was getting recruited again after junior college, I was assured that things were good. At the time, Gene Smith was still there, and he had big plans, not only for the whole athletic department but for baseball as well. And they had kind of showed me some plans for that. So there wasn't really, it really kind of hit us all at once when they announced it. We were all kind of caught off guard at that time, for sure.
After the news is handed down, how did you guys receive the news? Was it you guys just found out on a press release, or a media member contacting you? Did the athletic director, did the coaches tell you? How did you guys as a team find out that baseball was going to be no more after your season concluded?
Yeah, so it was first thing Monday morning. We had just finished beating Oklahoma State 2 out of 3 at home, and they were ranked number 10 at the time. So Sunday night, we all went out and celebrated pretty hard. So the next morning, we get a call. This is back when we had voicemail recorders.
Yeah.
We had a voicemail that said, "Meeting at the Jake at 11. If you have class, skip it."
Wow.
And so right there, we knew something was pretty serious. And everybody in my apartment, we thought somebody had gotten in trouble from the night before. We thought, maybe they got an OWI, maybe there's a fight, or even worse. Our minds were kind of racing, like, is everybody okay? Things like that. So we go in, and Vanderbilt walks in right away and just kind of says, due to budget cuts, we have I think he said something like a $40 million deficit. I don't even know what the number was. He said that what we have to cut 2 sports, and it's going to be men's swimming and baseball. And then from there, it got really wild. The meeting got a little hot at times. We had some really fiery assistant coaches that were in their first year. And so they were speaking up quite a bit. And then Mike Bush was also helping out with the team, and he was in that meeting. And he and the assistant coaches and Jerry McNertney had made some calls, and they were, because our budget at the time wasn't huge. I think it was like $250,000 for the year. So it didn't take much. And we're like, how much will it take to save the program? And at that time in the meeting, Vanderbilt said $8 million to endow it for 10 years would save the program. We had $10 million raised by the end of the day.
Wow.
10 million committed. And Bush and the assistant coaches and McNertney went to Vanderbilt, and he said, no, he just said, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He apparently threw out that number just thinking it was impossible.
Right.
But yeah, so I think at the time, our minds were kind of thinking, like, at that time, if you remember, Larry Stacey just got a huge contract extension. McCarney just got a huge contract extension. There's a big story that they paid like $600,000 to send the band to the bowl game. So there was a lot of money going out, and Vanderbilt wasn't the best fundraiser, so there wasn't much coming in. So he even mentioned, because I don't know if you remember, Gene Smith was planning on bowling in the end zone with the basketball practice facility underneath the end zone, and Vanderbilt is like, yeah, he had a lot of dreams, but he was writing checks that we couldn't cash, and kind of threw him under the bus for the whole thing too. But yeah.
Was there ever a point, Mark, that you thought, in the 11th hour, that this might end up being saved? Obviously, the number, Vanderbilt made it clear that he was fibbing, just threw a number out there thinking it's unattainable. When you guys did, well, I was kidding. But was there ever a time that you thought, well, maybe this can be saved, or was it never, ever, did you never get that feeling that this is going to work out in the end?
No, I never had the feeling that it would work out, and I haven't since then either. Every year that passes, it becomes more and more I don't want to say impossible, but it's pretty much impossible because the facilities race and everything like that is just more and more. I think just to build a middle of the pack baseball stadium right now would be like $60 million. So you're talking, just obviously money that the department doesn't have now. So
take us to the final game, and after it concludes, and knowing that the season is over, what that was like. It's one thing being a senior, having your career come to an end. It's probably not going to continue there, but for so many people, it's not the transfer portal environment that we're in today. I'm sure guys wondering and what those final moments were like, and that final day was like for you guys on the field.
I'll tell you this though, it was certainly a glimpse into what the transfer portal was going to be like.
Yeah, true.
Because our guys, you guys obviously probably don't remember, but we were really good that year. At the time where we had just beat Oklahoma State, we were starting to get some top 25 votes. We were, I think, in like 6th place in the conference at that time, which was the best baseball conference in the country at that time. We were competing with everybody. So our guys were getting calls left and right from top programs. We beat Texas 2 out of 3, and literally our starting pitcher is on the bus with the coach right after the game. So, so we got kind of a glimpse there. But after that last game, so the last game was, it was really an odd situation because it was over in the first inning. We gave up 10 runs in the first inning. We had just beaten Baylor, who was a top 15 team, to get us into the quarterfinals. And we were riding pretty high there. And then there was it was kind of a decision that the coaches wrestled over. Either I was going to start or another senior. And they went with the other senior because he had been starting all year. That was the head coach's decision. The pitching coach was kind of pushing for me to start. That starter gave up, had a rough outing. So we give up 10, and I think we got like 5 back in the first, but it was still a long road to climb. And I think we ended up losing like 13-5 or something like that. So really, like, the whole last game was just like a death march because of that first inning. I went in the 9th, gave up a home run to the first batter I faced, and then got three quick outs after that. But after that, it was just kind of like, being a senior, I knew that, I had a chance to probably play some more baseball, but I didn't have that uncertainty. What I really felt for was those kind of tweener guys that maybe weren't playing a lot, but you knew they could play, because they didn't have a lot of tape or anything to send out or stats. So that kind of hurt. And then even I was planning on living with, because I still had some school to go. I was planning on living with some guys that were going to be seniors. And so that got scrapped there. So I had to find new apartment arrangements and stuff like that, but just the logistical stuff. But yeah, that last game was tough. It was tough.
I can only imagine. Was there an end of season banquet?
No, we did not have an end of season banquet. We did have a fun celebration at the hotel afterwards, but and that was a wild story. That probably not safe for radio. Yeah. But there was an interesting establishment right across the street from our hotel.
I can only imagine.
Yeah. But we had some fun, and then everybody really went their separate ways almost immediately. It was pretty wild.
Yeah, so some transferred to Texas, right? With the players that still had eligibility. Do you know how many of them found homes, Mark?
Most of them.
Good.
I think all the ones that played for sure. I know. So Alan Bomer, who was our one of our top pitchers, he went to Texas, won the College World Series with them the next year. Joe Farron, who you guys obviously did some work with, he had left the year before.
Oh, he'd already gone. Okay.
Junior college. Yep. He had gone to a junior college down there, kind of prearranged with Texas, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So And then we had another pitcher that went to Central Florida. Our shortstop went to Texas Tech. Center fielder went to Illinois. A backup outfielder ended up being a sports super agent, went to Iowa. Then my roommate, who's a pitcher, went to Missouri. But yeah, there's a lot of guys that found homes. We had a lot of seniors that year too. So, because we had a huge junior college class come in the year before. But yeah, and then I think, I'm not quite sure where some of the freshmen had a harder time catching on. I know one went to Creighton, I think. But some had to go. And then we had I don't know if he was All-American, but all-conference outfielder that, and this was another thing, is we had a couple guys that once that announcement went, they kind of shut down academically and stopped going to class and then they had a really hard time catching on because their grades weren't there. So one of them went to Bellevue in Omaha, and he ended up getting drafted and winning a World Series ring with the Phillies later.
How about that? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah. Mark Hanrahan, member of that 2001 Iowa State baseball team as it came to an end. What was attendance like, Mark? Give us an idea. How many hundreds, thousands of people show up for the games? What was it? I don't recall.
So we had a really rough weather season that year, even though we were playing well. On the road, we'd play in front of thousands on the road in the Big 12. At home, it was slowly creeping up before the announcement because there was, people were starting to be like, oh, they're pretty good. It was in the school paper, stuff like that. But I would say attendance at home games ranged from like 200 to 600 before the announcement. And then after the announcement, it jumped up to probably 1,200. Mm-hmm. And then that last game, there was probably about 2,000 people there.
Unbelievable. Mark Hanrahan. Mark, appreciate it. Saw the story. I want to get the show right, the Three Beards Media that it's on. It's Tracking the Storm at Three Beards Media. Had you guys on earlier, and that's where I saw it and thought we'd get you on to do the same thing. How's your brother Joel doing?
He's doing good. He's actually on his way. He'll be up here tonight for my daughter's graduation this weekend.
Nice. So good stuff.
He's taking the year off from coaching this year and kind of coaching his son's travel team.
That's awesome. Tell him hi for me. I appreciate when we would have him on the air when he was all-star closer, Joel Hanrahan.
Yeah, we'll do.
Good to talk to you, Mark. Congratulations on the graduation, and appreciate you going down memory lane with us. Thanks, Mark Hanrahan. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Yep, good to talk to you, Mark Hanrahan, as we catch up with that 2001 team.
Not just a line item. These are real people.
Yeah, that's a great point.
But when it happens all the time, different sports, sports that we don't talk about often, these are still real people.
Yeah.
And
2001, how'd you find out?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no cell phones. You're not getting when did text messaging start? Any idea?
People were texting at that point.
At that time?
Yes.
Were they?
Yeah. Somebody had to 10 cents a text.
Right. You had to hit the button like 3 times to get to the right letter.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I was going to guess you were probably not very strong at that.
No, no, absolutely not. Believe it or not, Trent. We'll take a time out, come back and finish up the hour. Thanks to Mark Hanrahan. Miller and Condon on the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
That was so good! Start your day off right with the first quarter with Heather Burnside and Alec Bussey. Weekdays from 6 to 9 on 106.3 KXNO and the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
Now here's your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, Bills. That's Bills. Enter it now. KXNO.com.
Hey, race fans, it's Tony Bakoven, the voice of the Knoxville Raceway. Make sure you come see us Saturday night, May the 23rd for the NOS Energy Drink World of Outlaws as they battle the Layton State Bank 410s. Plus, the Randall Roofing 360s will be racing. For more information, visit KnoxvilleRaceway.com.
Create the yard of your dreams with help from Menards. Give your lawn a professional-grade look with Pennington Contractors Mix. It contains a mix of grass seed that covers up to 8,000 square feet, providing your lawn with quick, lush, professional-grade results. Save big money on Pennington Contractors Mix now at Menards. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
You think a ticket for not wearing your seatbelt is the worst that could happen until you get in a crash. Suddenly, a ticket doesn't seem so bad. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
iHeart's Yacht Rock Radio goes commercial free all Memorial Day weekend. Smooth sailing with the greatest from the 70s and 80s. Just open the free iHeart app, search Yacht Rock, and start listening now.
What would you love to get back to? Walking the dog without pain? Finishing a round of golf? Getting through the day without stiffness slowing you down? With 9 convenient clinic locations and personalized hands-on care, their team helps you move better, feel stronger, and get back to doing what you love. At Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy, it's not just about treating pain, but helping you return to the activities that make life yours. Call Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy today to schedule your appointment or visit kineticedgept.com and start moving better now.
When it comes to family law, a lot has changed in recent years, so assumptions can be costly. If you see or sense a change coming in your family life that could have legal implications, it's important to know where you stand. What are your rights and responsibilities? Getting good legal advice early is never a bad idea. I'm Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. If you or anyone you know is facing a family law issue, start with a consultation. Visit CordellCordell.com.
Urology Center of Iowa has a dedicated men's health wellness center designed to restore your confidence and your comfort and put you back in control. Get a clear plan, a private tailored experience, and judgment-free care at iowauro.com.
If you're thinking about upgrading your HVAC system, Green's Appliance Heating and Cooling is turning up the value. For a limited time, when you purchase a new qualifying HVAC system, you'll receive a free water heater included. That means improved comfort, better efficiency, and dependable hot water, all in one smart upgrade. Professional installation, trusted local technicians, and comfort you can count on. Don't miss this limited time offer. Call Greens today or schedule online at greensahc.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Ken Miller, Trent Condon, Miller and Condon on 106.3 KXNO and the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
Miller and Condon, final couple of minutes of our first hour. David Kaplan kicks off hour number 2. Brian Walton on those resurgent St. Louis Cardinals as they keep hanging around, now second place behind the Brewers in the Central Division. That's coming up in the second hour of the show. Real quick, I know we probably don't have enough time to really dive into it, but just get your thoughts. The new basketball tournament that apparently is coming. Matt Norlander broke the story yesterday. The Diamond Cup with the Blue Bloods going to play on an Amazon or something like that. Is this where we're going?
I think so. I think
Duke, Michigan, maybe just kind of like the first domino.
Yes. So I'm creating this and figuring out how you're going to do it. Neutral environments. Then you get to put it wherever you want. It reminds me a lot of some of those weird kind of European soccer cup situations that they have.
Yeah, that's true. That's good.
What the in-season tournaments turned into for the NBA, something kind of similar. You're going to play a game to open up the season. Then you play another game a couple of weeks later and finish up and kind of who's got there. I like the idea.
I do too.
I think it's something that you can kind of wrap your mind up a little bit more, but what's that mean for the next year?
Yeah. Well, they're not. Yeah, fair.
Scheduling games for the Iowa State's in good shape right now with.
What's a fake diamond called?
Cubic zirconium.
Maybe that's the name of it.
Think you could get a jeweler to sponsor that one?
The cubic zirconia tournament. The Diamonds got the blue bloods. I think we can work with that. We'll work with Cappy next. Miller and Condon talking sports with you on the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
Quick question. Want to go to Vegas with KXNO? We're giving away the Circa Silver Anniversary Experience. Flights, Circa Hotel, food money, stadium swim, sportsbook VIP access, and nights out with the KXNO crew. All for one lucky winner and a guest. And 5 more winners still get the Vegas hookup. You've got until June 28th to enter. Don't hear about it later. Be there. Only from KXNO and Circa. Sign up now at KXNO.com.
My mission is improving lives, whether it's my team or my clients. And with so much turbulence in the world, can we really put a price tag on peace of mind? Your old buddy Brian here from Service Legends. And in my world, here's what peace of mind looks like to improve your life. So I pulled the data on our top-notch tune-ups from last year. 98.2% of the systems we maintained are still running like clockwork. I truly believe that's what homeowners like you really want. No breakdowns and getting the absolute most life out of your system. True peace of mind. I have so much confidence in my home comfort heroes and the job they do for Service Legends clients that I'm putting this ironclad 1-year guarantee on the line this summer. In the outside chance your AC does have a challenge after one of our top-notch tune-ups, I'm not only going to refund the cost of your tune-up, I will fix it for free. Look, not all AC tune-ups are created equal, and clearly not all guarantees are either.
Call 515-COMFORT. We fix it right or it's free. Service Legends.
Your one stop for advertising? Call 844-844-IHEART.
Your mower needs a tune-up, but hauling it across town, that's not ideal. Clive Power Equipment's new mobile service program takes care of that. Our technicians come right to your driveway with everything they need to get your equipment running like new. Mowers, snow blowers, handheld equipment, all major brands, flat rate pricing, and great customer service you would expect from Clive Power. Book online anytime at clivepowerequipment.com or call 515-279-2296. Clive Power Equipment. We come to you.
This month at Ames Ford, we celebrate American value for American values. Our best price upfront and in writing, now with employee pricing. Unbeatable value on new Ford and over 175 used and certified pre-owned vehicles. Find the SUV for you with new Ford Explorers and Bronco Sports in stock. And now these deals won't last. Visit us in-store or online at amesford.com.
Man, whenever I use a sports book, I feel like I'm just getting robbed blind.
Dude, you've got to delete that app. You need to be using Polymarket.
Polymarket? How are they any different?
Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sports book. You trade against other fans just like you, not the house. That means more money for you and less for those greedy sports books.
For real?
Yep. Sports books take around $9 on a $100 position and then pay out around $500. Polymarket pays out $650 on that same position.
What's the catch?
No catch. Even better, it's available in all 50 states. Polymarket is so confident that you'll never go back, they're giving you $50 free on your first trade.
I'm deleting my sportsbook app. How do I get started?
Download Polymarket now and use promo code HEAT for $50 free for your first trade. Stop letting sportsbooks steal from you. Download Polymarket and use promo code HEAT for $50 free on your first trade. Use promo code HEAT.
Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply.
The world's largest sports book in Las Vegas is available right at your fingertips in Iowa. Trent Condon here for Circa Sports. The Circa Sports Iowa app is sports betting the way it should be. Bet anywhere in Iowa and experience high betting limits, tight money line splits, and exceptional customer service. Download your new bookie today. Visit circasports.com and start betting like a pro from anywhere in Iowa. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
There's just something about a night at the ballpark. Good baseball, good company, and time together with the people you care about. That's what you'll find when you go to an Iowa Cubs game. Bring your family and friends and enjoy the sights and sounds of the game inside Principal Park. Every pitch, every cheer, every moment feels like summer. Come see the stars of the future and be part of a tradition that's been bringing people together for generations. Tickets are waiting for you at iowacubs.com.
Do you remember the last walk-off homer to win the World Series? It's been a while, but the answer is 1993. Do you know when Wolf Roofing started roofing houses? That's right, 1993. Wolf Roofing has been around for a long time. For your next roofing project, put the experience of Wolf Roofing on your side. Find them on the web at wolfroofing.net or give them a call at 515-225-8866 or online wolfroofing.net.
KXNO AM Des Moines, KXNO FM Ankeny, KKDM HD2 Des Moines. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, sports talk, and podcasts. Miller and Condon on 106.3 KXNO is sponsored by TC Sports, LLC.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. When the top teams in the NBA collide in the postseason, adversity is part of the deal. No contender gets through 4 rounds clean. Injuries happen, and every flaw becomes harder to hide. The difference is how quickly teams adjust. That feels especially true in the Thunder-Spurs series, where the margins between these two teams has looked razor thin from the opening tip. Talent's not the issue. Both rosters have enough of it to reach the finals. What may decide the series is which team solves its problems first. For San Antonio, the concerns are obvious. De'Aaron Fox, Dylan Harper, both battling through injuries. Stephon Castle's turnovers have created unnecessary openings for OKC. As for the Thunder, their problems, the Thunder need more offense from Chet Holmgren and finding ways to survive without Jalen Williams, who has become increasingly important as the series tightens. Neither side is lacking answers. The question is, who finds them first? Because in a matchup this even, adjustments matter just as much as talent. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. These days, everybody's searching for ways to save on insurance, scrolling comparison sites, digging through tips, chasing deals. But Liberty Mutual makes it simple. Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance to save you money. And when you bundle, those savings really start to come through. It's insurance built for real people with a team that helps you keep what matters most, money. No hassle, just confidence that your coverage is customized with savings in mind. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local independent agent. Tires matter. They're the only part of your vehicle that touches the road. Tread confidently with new tires from Tire Rack. Whether you're looking for expert recommendations or know exactly what you want, Tire Rack makes it really easy. Fast, free shipping, free road hazard protection, convenient installation options, and the best selection of Yokohama tires. Go to TireRack.com/Dan, see their Yokohama test results, tire ratings, and reviews, and be sure to check out all the special offers. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should.
Congratulations to KXNO on their silver anniversary and 25 years on the air in Iowa, being the home of sports talk radio.
We're giving you a chance to experience everything Circa has to offer with a trip along with your favorite KXNO personalities.
The next KXNO Silver Ticket Tour will bring you to Las Vegas and Circa for 4 days, 3 nights. Go to KXNO.com to sign up and have a chance to experience Circa with KXNO and the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
And we hope to see you soon at Circa.
Live from the TNT Landscaping and Nursery Studios, you're listening to 106.3 KXNO. 106.3 KXNO. Ken Miller and Trent Condon. It's Miller and Condon on the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
Hour number 2, Miller and Condon. Welcome back, Iowa Sports Radio Network. Take you until just before 2 o'clock. Let's go right to Chicago. He's David Kaplan, ESPN 1000. His YouTube continues to add subscribers on a weekly basis. Centurion Stone of Iowa sponsors our buddy David Kaplan. Capper, how are you, bud? Trent and Ken, good to talk to you. How's things?
Yeah, things are good. Not for the Cubs.
Nope.
Things are good with me. And you're right, the channel continues to expand. And, you know, it's funny to watch when the Cubs either play amazingly well or play like they have the last several days. The views just keep going up. So it's pretty cool.
Nope, absolutely. Be really bad or really good. And it's going to be very good for ratings either way. Obviously, PCA's got to be a big talker. Yes, I'm guessing, Cap, the pop fly, not a pop fly, the fly ball that he dropped 2 nights ago, then the ball getting under his glove yesterday, going to the wall for a Little League home run. What's going on there with PCA? It started a week that started across town at Guaranteed Rate Field. We got in a verbal fight with the female fan. He's had a bad week, Cap.
Yeah, he's had a terrible week, and he would tell you that as well. It's just, for whatever reason, he let this lady get in his head. And I talked to someone at the Cubs yesterday, and they said he's a polarizing guy because he's so aligned as the face of that team. And it's him and Caleb Williams and Matas Vizzelis. They're hanging out at a concert the other night. Like, he's just everything that I love about Chicago and all that. Well, if you're not in Chicago and you don't like the Cubs, you immediately hate Pete Armstrong. And he's an awesome, awesome guy. But, when you play as brash a style and you're running and gunning all the time and you're out at the Bears games and all of that, you're going to have people that do not like you. And so this lady was a Sox fan, and she's firing on him, calling him, I don't know what profanity she used, but she called him PC AAA. And he missed the ball. Good, yeah, thank you. And he missed the ball, and now she's all over him. And he says something you cannot say. You just can't.
Yep.
You cannot drop the like, we were talking about this on the radio, and a lady called in on Waddle and Sylvie and said, I'm a Cubs fan, all that. She said, if he would have just said, when you say blank me, blah, 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 you can't say it. And then his mother, I think, called him and said, Peter, are you out of your mind? You cannot say that to a man or a woman, but especially to a woman at a baseball game. Are you nuts? And so he met the media. He's a great dude, man. He stepped up immediately, and he said, the women in my life, they don't like that I did this. And so he didn't apologize because he was pissed off at what she had said to him. And again, I don't know what profanity she used, but he said, I can't say what I said. And that's the bottom line. He was wrong. He got fined $5,000 by Major League Baseball, whatever, and afford it. He signed for $15 million. That's $20 to you and I. It's, $5,000 to him. But again, his mind is not where it needs to be. I do think it affected him. He dropped a routine ball Tuesday night right through him, and it clanked off his glove. And we thought, okay, that's a one-off, whatever. And then yesterday, with two men on in the second inning, Hamilton, who's as fast as PCA, if not faster, hits a ball up the middle, and it goes right under his glove, and it rolls all the way to the warning track, and the guy gets in. It's not an inside the park homer, but a Little League home run, and 3 runs score. And now the way you're hitting, 3-0. Well, I said to my wife, "You got any errands you need me to run? Because this ball game's over." They don't look right, and sure enough, they lost 5-0.
I love the fact that his mom's calling him Peter, by the way.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's the time that the full name definitely needs to be there when you're doing those kind of things. But it's just right now kind of an easy scapegoat. I'll just blame it all on PCA. But he's not alone. This team is struggling. They're struggling with the bat. What do you see? Is it just a lull this season, or do you see something a little bit more concerning maybe under the surface now?
Yeah, because I think our manager is not as good as people hoped he would be for $8 billion. I'll give you a stat. Ian Happ, coming into yesterday's game, had struck out 19 times in his last 34 at bats coming into yesterday. And he was, like he owned beachfront property in perpetuity. He was every night in the 4-hole in cleanup. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Well, Craig moves him yesterday, finally out of the 4-hole. Guess where he moves him to? The 3-hole. He moves him up, and he goes 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. So he's 22 of 37 strikeouts. So what I don't understand is I would love to ask Craig Counsell. He's never going to sit down and explain himself to me. But what I'd like to know is where's the accountability? A guy who he's struggling. He's absolutely having an awful run. Do not put him down 7, 8, 9. Go, hey, man, I'm going to take some pressure off you. You're the worst hitter with men in scoring position in terms of numbers of guys left in Major League Baseball. The worst. We're going to take the pressure off you. Guess what? I'm calling Kevin Alcantara up. He's got 15 home runs. You see him in Iowa. And, Kevin, you're on the field on Friday, tomorrow, against the Houston Astros, a team that also is struggling. And, Ian, you're taking the day off. We'll have you back in there on Saturday. Kevin, you want to stay up here? Guess what? Go play well on Friday. Maybe I'll put you in right field on Saturday. Maybe I'll give Pete a day off, put you in center field, whatever the case may be. You want to be here? You hit. We will find a spot for you. Ballesteros is
He's brutal.
At the play.
0.75 in May.
Yeah, so I would send him back to the Drake Diner, and that'd be that.
Yeah, couldn't agree with you more. That's my move. No, could not agree with you more. A level of concern about Cabrera. Now the blisters popped up again. Same injury that kept him out last year. Another Cubs pitcher goes down, Cap.
Yeah, I don't think a blister is a real big thing to worry about. But, you know, somebody said today, is that on the training staff? I'm like, no. Blisters are not a problem from the training staff. It sucks because Matthew Boyd's at least 3 weeks away from returning. Kate Horton's not walking through that door. Justin Steele's not walking through that door. So 3/5 of your opening day rotation that you hoped to have are not there. And now you lose 4/5 of your rotation. So, you know, Ben Brown, I thought, threw the ball well the other night. He's facing Mizorowski. Well, guess what? We don't score. So, again, I'm not a huge Craig Counsell guy. I'm not. He's not what he was advertised to be, like this massive upgrade tactically. I don't see it. Maybe I'm wrong. I need more fire. I need more out of the dugout. I don't see any of it. I don't.
Cappy, you mentioned Ben Brown, and I had a question on him. He gets a start, obviously, as you mentioned, going up against Mizorowski. That's tough, but
boy, he's unbelievable.
He's the upside of Ben Brown. I mean, they got to stretch him out a little bit more. I get that part of it, but is it something that you think this is the time? At 26 years old, we've certainly seen flashes from him. If it's going to happen, it's got to happen now for him to become a full-time starter.
I mean, he's throwing the heck out of the ball. His first start, 4 innings, 1 hit, no runs. Second start, 4 innings, I think, no hits and no runs. So he's first 8 innings, 1 hit, no runs. And then this start, 5 innings, I think he went 3 runs. And he's been nothing but excellent since he got up here this year. I thought he'd be great in the 7th, 8th inning role. Now you have to start him. They're stretching him out even further. He's got a third pitch that he learned from Clay Holmes this offseason from the Mets. And so now he's got a slider, a big-time breaking ball, and a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. So he's got at least a mix of different things he can do. But, okay, so you got Ben Brown. I don't know when Cabrera's coming back. I have no idea what they're going to do there with him with his blisters. I don't know if he's going to, Moises Alou said he had blisters, so he peed on his hand. We had other guys stick their hands in pickle juice. Yeah. Remember that?
I mean, do. Yeah.
That's how insane it is. And, yeah, I was in the locker room when he said that, and then he saw me and he came up to ask me a question, and he stuck his hand out. I'm like, whoa. He's like, I washed my hand. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. And he laughed. So I don't know. Javier Assad's back with you guys down there. They're trying to stretch him out. But if you think that's a division-winning rotation of Ben Brown, Javier Assad, Colin Ray,
Tyone.
I mean, come on. Not good. No. Not good at all.
Let's go back to Monday, Cap, as far as your radio program. You guys are the voice of the White Sox in Chicago, ESPN 1000. What did the White Sox taking 2 or 3 to the Cubs mean for at least White Sox fans? That had to be, that there hadn't been a lot of good times over the last few years. This had to be one of them.
Oh, my God. I mean, I'm the poster child for Cub Nation, so I had to wear it from all of these people, and good for them. My brother's a diehard Sox fan. My partner on my YouTube channel, Ryan McGuffey, he's a diehard Sox fan. My accountant's a Sox fan. My radio partner, Hoodie, is a Sox fan. Yeah, the chirping I have had to endure from this weekend. Oh, and then PCA melting down, and, I got all the idiots up in Wisconsin that are firing and ripping him and me. Oh, yeah, it's been a great week to be a Cub fan.
I had a question I posed to Ken earlier in the program today. 2 teams fighting in their central divisions, the White Sox and the Cardinals. Just for this year, not for the foreseeable future, just for 2026. Who has more staying power for this year between the Cards and the Sox?
I think the White Sox are a better team.
Really?
I do. Yeah. If I had to bet, like you said, hey, you can have one of those 2 teams, yeah, I'll take the White Sox. No question about it. I don't think the Cards are for real. Last year at this time, I was on the phone with Chip Carey a couple days ago, and he said, a year ago at this time, I think he said they got to 7 or 8 or whatever over, and then they were just completely awful the rest of the way. I think the White Sox team has really, really good young players. I just don't think they have enough pitching.
Let's go to football, Cap. The Bears, the NFL had asked to have some clarity as to where the Bears are going to call home. The meetings that just wrapped up, was it whenever the NFL meetings earlier in the week. Nothing came of it. It seems like, are we kicking the can down the road again? What's the latest on the Bears home?
I think the Bears made a tactical mistake. I mean, a big tactical mistake. They tell the NFL the other day, it's either Arlington Heights or Hammond, Indiana. The Tribune writes a big story that Hammond, Indiana sits on what's called a slag heap of, decades of solid waste that is there with toxic material right in the area around there from steel mills and all coal plants and everything else. And you just look at it, I'm like, you can't begin to tell me the Chicago Bears are moving down there. But then they call Brandon Johnson, who I think is the most incompetent mayor in the history of the city. He's horrible. And Brandon Johnson, they tell him the Bears claim they only were working on the exit strategy out of Soldier Field. But the report is that they told Brandon Johnson, if we can't get something done in Arlington Heights, we really don't want to go to Hammond. Is there a chance we could still work something out with you in Chicago? Well, he hears that. Now he's dug his heels in that he's trying to oppose the legislation that needs to pass to get the Bears their tax break, or tax certainty, I should call it, in Arlington Heights. And so now the state senator who said, I'll help you guys get this done. Just get out of the way and let me handle this. Well, he was on with Channel 5 last night and said, yeah, that's a real problem. They reached out to Brandon Johnson, and now he's become an obstructionist. He said, I don't know if we're going to have a deal done by May 31st. Wow. And if we don't, they may be going to Indiana.
Wow. Where's the blame go for Kevin Warren? Should there be blame towards Kevin Warren? He was brought in really for this, figure out the stadium situation. I get it. Illinois politics are weird and goofy, but how much blame should be pointed at Kevin Warren that we're still going through this here in the middle of May in 2026?
I like Kevin Warren very much. I do. I think Kevin is a smart man. I think he has gotten George to a point where they run it like a big boy corporation, not a mom and pop store where guys are flying coaches in and coach. That literally happened. I think I told you guys that story when they interviewed Dan Quinn. Yep. Back seat, middle of the row, the last row of the plane, and he was so mad. He's a big guy. That's not how you do business as an $8 billion corporation. Every other team, the owner has a plane. So now the Bears have a NetJets account, the whole deal. So Kevin deserves a lot of credit for getting George to spend $13 million on Ben Johnson and $5 million on Dennis Allen and whatever on Dan Rauscher, the offensive line coach. All of that's well and fine. I do not think Kevin has handled the stadium negotiations well. And I would tell him that if he's sitting with me. I do not. He was brought here to get a deal done, and 3 years later, we're no closer to getting shovels in, and now we're hearing, from people. I talk to these politicians, and one of them's a really good friend of mine. He's like, bro, I know you think Illinois politics and fair, some of it is screwed up. He goes, they're just as culpable as we are. Well, Kevin's leading that fight, so he's got to wear it.
Ultimately, where do they play, Cap?
I mean, I've said all along they're not going anywhere but Arlington Heights, so I'll stick to that. But I just can't believe an $8 billion or more corporation is this screwed up. I can't believe it.
When we talk next week, let's get back to baseball, our final minute. They're going to spend the weekend at home against Houston before going to Pittsburgh. Have the Cubs figured it out in the next week?
So that'll be 3 with Houston, and they play 4 with Pittsburgh, but I think they'll have played 2 when I speak to you next Wednesday.
Yeah.
So that'll be 5 games. I'll say they're 3-2 in those 5 games.
Not good enough. Anyways, Trent?
One final thing for you, Cappy. As Ken and I do, you like to dabble in the sports wagering world, and it looks like, speaking of Illinois and Illinois politics, things are getting a little dicey over there, including at Wrigley Field, place that I spent some time when I was at Wrigley last with the DraftKings Sportsbook. The Sportsbook part of it, no more. Take us in that side of things and what you hear from the operators inside the state of Illinois, the tax that has been levied, the per wager things that are there. Boy, you're trying to look for any kind of handout. Doesn't feel like a very good state for the sports bettors over there in Illinois.
No, and so the DraftKings deal they signed was a huge, huge win for the Cubs. I want to say it was a $100 million deal. And then DraftKings would recoup with whatever it is DraftKings makes their money on. But I said to somebody in management at the Cubs, he's like, so would you wager at the DraftKings thing when you come to the ball game? I said, absolutely not. He said, what do you mean? Why? I said, because I'll wager on my phone. I may go sit in the DraftKings book if the weather's dicey or it's a Sunday in October, there's no baseball, and I'm going to watch the Bear games and all the other games. Yeah, I'd go there, but I'm not betting there. He's like, I don't understand why. I said, are you a gambler? No, I've never bet in my life. I said, well, that's your problem. Why would I take cash out of the bank and go to the windows to have to make a wager when on my phone I have money in my account and I simply just make my wagers? I'll eat your food. I'll buy it. I'll buy a drink. I'll have fun there, but I'm not going to wager there. He was stunned. What do you mean? I said, if I was DraftKings, I would never have done that deal with you. You want to open a Hooters or, some other fast casual with TVs type place, Champ Sports Bar. I get it. I totally get it. The wagering part of it, dumbest idea I ever heard, and now it's gone.
Yeah, I think all 85% of wagers are done on phones, on your device. There's no need to invest a bunch of money in it. Really isn't. Good stuff, Capper. Love the spot. We'll speak with you next Wednesday. Thanks, Cap. Appreciate you coming on. Have a great week.
Look forward to it. Have a great day.
Yep. See you, buddy. Good to talk to you, David Kaplan, as we check in on Chicago sports. Give you a chance to win $1,000 right now. You can head to whatever station you're listening to on the Iowa Sports Radio Network, or if you want to make it easy, Des Moines Sports Station, KXNO.com, KXNO.com. Pop-up box will appear. The keyword this hour is deposit at KXNO.com. Your chance to win $1,000. I'll tell you that Cappy's sponsored on a weekly basis by our friends at Centurion Stone. Centurion Stone of Iowa. That's the website. The showroom is 5525 Northeast 22nd Street in Des Moines. Memorial Day weekend upon us. Be outdoors before you know it. Weather's going to turn, isn't it? Is it supposed to be nice this weekend?
I don't even know.
I thought it was. Whatever. It's going to get here. And if you want to do something outside, maybe around the grill, maybe around the pool, just wherever you want to do something, spruce it up. Centurion Stone has projects. You have a project inside the house, outside the house. They've got a variety of style patterns and colors. whether you need manufactured or natural stone, over 200 of them overall. Centurion Stone of Iowa, and of course, they have natural stone should you be in the market for that.
83 on Sunday, 87 on Monday.
How about that?
Beautiful.
It's here.
Sounds like pool weather.
You think?
Get you out to your pool?
I'll be at Prairie.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, we'll be racing.
Not for 24 hours, though.
No, but, a while.
A chunk
of time at PRM. 125, Miller and Condon will be back with Brian Walton. We're going to talk some Cardinals on the other side. It's the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
This June, the Legends of Golf return to Des Moines. The 2026 Principal Charity Classic at Wakanda Club, June 10th through 14th, where legends of the game compete and every swing helps support Iowa youth. Bring the whole family. Tickets start at just $25 and kids 15 and under get in free. Get your tickets now at principalcharityclassic.com. The Principal Charity Classic, because out here, it's more than golf.
I think you all know by now that the Chicken Coop is one of my favorite places to go for a cold one and great food. And their new made-from-scratch menu has me going back even more. Their signature wings with 12 different sauces, the Nashville hot chicken sandwich, and you got to try the new Big B chopped cheese. And the Chicken Coop has 3 locations: Urbandale, West Des Moines, and Ankeny. Wherever you are in the metro, the Chicken Coop has you covered.
At Kia of Des Moines, it's been 1 year since the unveiling of our new state-of-the-art showroom. So we're celebrating all month long. It's our anniversary sale, and you get the gift. Shop and save on all of your favorite new Kias with financing as low as 0.9% for 60 months. Don't miss the anniversary sale going on now at Kia of Des Moines. Shop KiaDM.com. With approved credit for well-qualified buyers. Valid on new 2026 Kia Sportage models. $1,705 per $1,000 finance monthly. Must finance through KMF. Expires 6/1/26.
As your dealer for life, the Carl Auto Group has been taking care of small companies and fleet owners the same way for over 45 years, with a handshake and a promise. Our business elite professionals are here for you as we begin 2026. See how we can help upgrade your fleet and save on a new Chevrolet, GMC, or Ram fleet vehicle. Or learn how our fleet management program can help business owners increase vehicle uptime, reduce cost per mile, or lower operating expenses. With dealerships located in Ankeny, Stewart, Glidden, Webster City, and Marshalltown, we make it easy to service your fleet. We invite you to visit carlauto.com to view our complete work truck and fleet inventory.
Your dealer for life, it's the Carl way.
Hey guys, it's us, the Jonas Brothers. I'm Joe. I'm Kevin. And I'm Nick. And guess what? We created our own podcast called Hey Jonas.
We invented a podcast?
Well, we didn't invent it. We just contributed to it.
We're the first people to do podcasts. We get to ask other people questions because we're sick and tired of being asked questions.
Well, sick and tired is a strong way to put it, but
tired and sick.
Tired and sick.
Listen to Hey Jonas on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow Hey Jonas and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
Now here's your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Deposit. That's deposit. Enter it now. KXNO.com. Ken and Trent are back in 60 seconds right here on 106.3 KXNO.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-477-1462. 800-477-1462. 800-477-1462.
After a rough Iowa winter, your roof took a beating. Don't wait for leaks. Get your free inspection and estimate from Wolf Roofing. We'll make sure your home is ready for spring and beyond. Find them online, wolfroofing.net. Wolf Roofing, strong roofs, done right.
Miller and Condon on 106.3 KXNO and the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
All right, 1:30 on the Iowa Sports Radio Network. Trent Condon, Ken Miller, Miller and Condon with you until 2. Trent's plays of the day still to come. Circa Sports sponsor those coming up here in about 20 minutes. Well, let's talk about those Cardinals. Currently looking up the Pirates, at least on the scoreboard today. They're trailing 2-1 as that game goes to the 5th. I think they're one of the better stories so far of the first checkpoint, the first kind of block of games that we look at in Major League Baseball. Cardinals 28 up and 20 down heading into today. Brian, if I would have asked you back before the team left Jupiter to come north at the Memorial Day weekend or heading into it, they'd be 28-20. You would have said what?
I would have said you're crazy. Yeah. I mean, I don't think anybody expected the Cardinals to play like this because, I mean, they subtracted, three very important players, the veteran leaders of their team in trades, and they were going to go young. And everybody knows that young players need time to adapt and blah, blah, blah. Well, it didn't really happen. They played with confidence from the beginning. And I think the most impressive thing about this year so far, Ken, has been that the Cardinals have had a lot of close games, as you might expect they would, but they come on top quite frequently. They lead MLB in extra inning wins. They are tied for the league in last at bat wins and run wins. So, in a tight game, their bullpen has been good enough and they've had just enough offense to win. Now, whether that'll hold up, we'll have to see. But now we're 2 months in and everybody knows Memorial Day is kind of where you make stock and the pretenders versus the contenders, you sort of start to sort out.
You go through this squad and you look at the numbers, team stats, kind of middle of the road offensively, a touch below that. The bullpen is considered below average in terms of wins above replacement. So outside of winning close games, you mentioned extra innings. I think they have the best record in one-run games this season. What else is it about it? Or is it just as simple as that? They're just winning the close ones.
Well, the bullpen is there's quite a difference. I mean, there are a lot of bullpens. There are the good guys and the mop-up guys, but the Cardinals, maybe more than most teams, have the big three: Riley O'Brien, of course, Jojo Romero, and then George Soriano, who's a guy that they picked up basically off the scrap heap, has been very, very good too. And there's quite a gap there between the rest of the bullpen, which has not been dependable at all. And a little bit of a concern is that O'Brien, who has been was leading the majors in saves not long ago, has now started to show a little bit of strain, maybe from the heavy workload. Don't know. Hopefully he, will be able to bounce back and continue to be that force late in the game. I also think that the rotation, no one expected the rotation to be as consistent as they are. Even the back two guys in the rotation, Andre Palante and Kyle Leahy, have been pitching well enough to hold their jobs. And, fingers crossed, there haven't been any major injuries on this team this year, which has also been important in their success.
How much credit does Ollie Marmol deserve?
I think he deserves a lot. I mean, Marmol came in as a guy, that was a washed-out minor leaguer, was a good coach in the system, but, didn't have any major league experience, didn't have the chops, didn't have the resume, and was in the right place at the right time when Mike Schilt was fired unceremoniously a few years ago, and everybody was waiting for him to fail. And, the Cardinals had a couple down years. His first year they made the playoffs, but, then they had a couple down years, and it would have been easy to fire Marmol and start over. But the reality is that the Cardinals' talent wasn't there, and everybody knew it. And, you could have brought in, I don't know who's out there, Joe Madden, or, and it wouldn't have mattered much. It wouldn't have all of a sudden made the Cardinals a World Series contender. They had to be patient and decide a new direction, which Chaim Bloom did, which was, okay, we're going to go young. And Marmol seems to be the right guy for the team at this time.
Who's been the most pleasant surprise? And let's take Jordan Walker out of the mix, as it feels like he's putting it all together and certainly has this year with 13 home runs already this year, batting nearly 300. away from Walker offensively, who's been your biggest surprise this year?
Yeah, you slipped offensively into the last thing because I was going to say Riley O'Brien. You know, they came in the year, they didn't know who the closer was, if they were going to have a shared environment or whatever. But coming around to offense, I think Ivan Herrera, you know, has had the pedigree. Everybody knew he could hit, but he's doing okay behind the plate. He hasn't thrown out a lot of runners, but he's done a good job catching, and there's no doubt that the bat plays. So I think Herrera's been a pleasant surprise in that he has done better than even than I expected offensively, and defensively. I think he can catch a couple times a week like they're doing, and give them an opportunity to kind of shuffle other players through the designated hitter role and give them rest and whatever.
When you watch Weatherholt on a nightly basis, just getting a feel for Major League Baseball, just got off to such an amazing start, and he's had some down times, but he's also bounced back from those games. When you watch Weatherholt, do you expect him to have those peaks and valleys throughout the rookie season?
I think so. I think it's normal that a guy who's learning the league, and by the way, in addition, Ken, he's learning a new position too, right? He's been a shortstop coming all the way up through the system, and they started having him play a little short and third at the end of last year, but that's different than playing at a major league level at a high level of quality. And his defense has been better than expected. Offensively, fine. He's batting .240. But, I mean, you look at his on-base percentage in 360, 370 range, which is ideal. They put him in that pressure-filled leadoff spot right out of the gate, which I didn't think was a good idea, to be honest with you. And he's answered the bell. He's on track for, 30 home runs and 90 RBI. He's pretty good, a very fine season, and he's right up there in the top handful of guys for the Rookie of the Year award. And I don't think that anybody should be disappointed about what's gone on with J.J. Weatherholt so far.
Brian, you cover the minor leagues incredibly well. I saw an article, it was yesterday, talking about one of the prospects, the catcher, Jimmy Crooks, maybe it makes sense for him to be called up at this point in time. It feels like the minor league system is starting to start to bear a little bit of fruit, and certainly adds up to the excitement. But is there a name or two that is on the precipice, you think, that from the minor leagues that can impact the team this season?
Well, that's going to depend on their need. I think that, pitching wise, the number 6 starter right now is probably Hunter Dobbins, who's one of the players they picked up from the Red Sox. And he's gradually improving. He had the knee surgery in the off season. So he's a guy that I'm sure we'll see before too long. Crooks, you mentioned, a lot of power, but had a lot of strikeouts his first month, and has really done a good job of trying to cut down on those strikeouts. They have to sort out the catching position right now. The outfielder, the position player that everybody's watching the most is a guy named Jonathan Baez, a young man who really had a breakout year in AA last year. He's still learning. His AAA introduction's kind of been a little up and down, but Baez is a guy that they're hoping will, play up to his level at AAA and be a guy that they can call up in the second half. And then, of course, Lars Nootbaar started his rehab. We kind of forget about Lars Nootbaar, who had these heel problems, and he's now in his rehab, and he should be joining St. Louis soon. And that could give them another bat regularly in left field, where a young guy, Nathan Church, has been playing, who's probably more suitable to be a fourth guy in the outfield.
When you look at the division, we just saw the Brewers sweep the Cubs, embarrass the Cubs at Wrigley Field, and they've taken the lead now in the Central Division, a division which, by the way, the only division in baseball that everybody's above 500. Help us out. Sort this division out. Are the Brewers now, in your mind, the team to beat when you look at the Cubs, and you'll see the Cubs next weekend as the Cubs and Cards finally get together the final weekend in the month of May? How do you see the Central Division at the first checkpoint in baseball, Brian?
Yeah, it's amazing that we're talking at the time of year we are, the 21st of May, and the Cardinals haven't played the Cubs yet. They've only played 2 games versus Milwaukee. It's very, very unusual. It's harder to gauge these teams when you're not playing them head to head, but the recent history says that Milwaukee should never be discounted, no matter who's on their roster, no matter how many injuries they've had. The Cubs, of course, have been hit badly with pitching injuries and have been extremely streaky. The Cubs, I think you can't count them out because they have the financial resources. Rumor is they're going to go out and get a frontline starter to try to help their rotation, and that's something the Cardinals probably won't do. They probably won't go out and get a big money guy. So I think the Cubs and the Brewers are both for real. I don't think either one of them is going to go away. And certainly the Pirates and the Reds have improved, but I don't think they're of the quality to contend for the division. I'm not even sure if the Cardinals are, but we'll have to see over the long haul.
Speaking of going away, hopefully the fans don't go away. They were there with the Kansas City series last weekend. Tarps were pulled off. There was a lot of buzz. Is it generating enough for this to sustain, though? If this team can keep winning baseball, can they bring the fans back? Maybe not at the monster number sellouts or anything like that, but do you feel the fan base ready to get back into Busch after kind of dissipating these last couple of years?
I think so. And it's, Tarps off will get a probably an unfair share of praise for that. I mean, the reality is the team is young and they're playing better, and it's getting to be the warm part of the year. And, college kids are out of school, and, there's more opportunity for people to come to the ballpark if there's a team that they want to see. And right now, like I said, the Cardinals have been winning games late. They've been walking off wins. They've been coming back. So, as long as the Cardinals continue to play well, yeah, I think the fans will start to come back to see them, because the fans weren't upset with the team. They were upset with the direction of the team set by the front office. And that front office is gone, and there's new guys in place. And so, it's time to get excited about Cardinals baseball again.
Yep, Marmol goes into the season on the hottest of hot seats, according to national media, and here they are, 28 up, 20 down. I think Tampa's the positive story in the American League. I think the Cardinals in the National League. Brian, thanks for popping on, giving us a few minutes on the St. Louis Cardinals. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you down the road. TheCardinalNation.com for Brian, TheCardinalNation.com. Thank you, Brian Walton.
You got it, and you can lead into me anytime with REO Speedwagon. That was fun.
Good stuff. All right, buddy. We'll keep that in mind. Good to talk to you. Brian Walton, as we talk a little Cardinals. Where are they this weekend? They stay in the division. Cincinnati, I think. Cincinnati. Cubs have Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Where do the Brewers go? Oh, they've got the Dodgers. Brewers and the Dodgers play this weekend.
In Milwaukee.
Yep.
You going to be watching a lot of that?
Watch some of it. I'm thinking more so in bringing that series into play tomorrow for our chicken coop giveaway.
Interesting.
Maybe get ahead of that one a little bit.
I got the 121st pitch with the Cubs and Astros tomorrow.
Little National League NLCS, perhaps, Brewers, Dodgers. The Dodgers swept them in the playoffs last year, didn't they?
Was this?
I think they did.
Sounds right. My typing is not nearly as quick as it
was.
Well,
you only have one hand. Now, welcome to my world. I mean, I have two. I just can't type.
You just can't type with two. Right. NLCS 2020.
No, I don't think it was in the...
it's a divisional round.
It was a divisional. Yeah, it was in the playoffs.
Let's see. Playoffs. That was the NLCS.
I think they swept them. I'm going to get there quicker than you are.
You probably are. You're going to get me this year.
How about that?
You're getting me today. Scrolling.
Me too.
Scrolling.
Postseason, here we go.
4-0 Dodgers. It was a sweep in the NLCS. I had that right.
The Cubs and the Brewers played to begin. The Brewers beat them in 5. Then they matched up against the Dodgers. 2-1, 5-1, 3-1, 5-1.
It's pretty good pitching.
Yamamoto.
I remember hearing this guy last summer, and he was completely losing his mind about the Dodgers rotation and how it stunk, and there was no way you could win a World Series with him. Who was that guy?
You're going to miss him, aren't you?
So much.
Miller and Condon back with Trent's Plays of the Day. It's the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
Get in on the action with the world's largest sports book right at your fingertips. Circa Sports Iowa is where the pros play. Enjoy the highest limits, lowest takeouts, and competitive betting menus. Download, fund, and bet from anywhere in Iowa. Circa Sports Iowa. Sports betting the way it should be. Download your new bookie today. Visit circasports.com. Must be over 21 and present in Iowa to bet. Have a gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Are you looking to upgrade your curb appeal? TNT Landscaping and Nursery is your trusted partner of more than 35 years in Ankeny and the Metro for all your landscaping needs. Browse 5 full acres of trees, plants, and shrubs, their huge nursery selection, and all the landscaping hard goods to get the project done. Hog-Eyes Barbecue, also there, and it's a griller's paradise. Visit TNTlandscaping.com for details or stop in at 1313 Southwest Ordnance Road in Ankeny. Tell them Heather sent you in.
Sometimes the key to feeling better comes from just being seen for what you need. Urology Center of Iowa has a dedicated men's health wellness center with services from low testosterone to managing the effects of aging. But more than that, UCI is the place to go when you want to be seen like a man. not like a patient. You don't want someone else's treatment. You deserve yours. Schedule an appointment with UCI today at iowauro.com. That's iowauro.com. Urology Center of Iowa. Schedule your appointment today.
There's just something about a night at the ballpark. Good baseball, good company, and time together with the people you care about. That's what you'll find when you go to an Iowa Cubs game. Bring your family and friends and enjoy the sights and sounds of the game inside Principal Park. Every pitch, every cheer, every moment feels like summer. Come see the stars of the future and be part of a tradition that's been bringing people together for generations. Tickets are waiting for you at iowacubs.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The world's largest sports book in Las Vegas is available right at your fingertips in Iowa. Trent Condon here for Circa Sports. The Circa Sports Iowa app is sports betting the way it should be. Bet anywhere in Iowa and experience high betting limits, tight money line splits, and exceptional customer service. Download your new bookie today. Visit circasports.com and start betting like a pro from anywhere in Iowa. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
What if your lawn could mow itself? With Iowa Mobotics, it can. Get a smart robotic mower to use advanced technology to cut your grass autonomously, keeping your lawn perfectly trimmed while you save hours every week. Precision, consistency, zero hassle. Take back your weekends at iowamobotics.com.
He needs an adult in his life to hang out with or go to the movies with. But it's not about the activity. It's about having a mentor. Someone who shows up, listens, and shares a laugh. Someone like you. There are kids in your community who want guidance from someone who cares. If you believe in the value of giving back, become a mentor. A message from Iowa HHS and your local provider.
Have you ever experienced the Kohl's Memorial Day sale effect? You get $10 off 25 cents and Kohl's Cash. Then something shifts. You go in for one thing, you leave with 6, high-fiving a person that's actually a mannequin and feeling pretty good about it. Someone needs to study this. See for yourself at Kohl's and Kohl's.com. Select style, some exclusions apply. Coupons and Kohl's Cash do not apply to Sephora. Offer ends May 25th. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Get off the bench and into the game with Sean Roberts and Lucas Strain. Tune in weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. on 106.3 KXNO and the Iowa Sports Radio Network. You're listening to Miller and Condon. Off the bench with Sean Roberts and Lucas Strain is on deck here on 106.3 KXNO and the Iowa Sports Radio Network.
All right, Miller and Condon, welcome back. Our final segment here on a Thursday. Mike Palm joins us tomorrow, VP of Operations at Circa Sports. Eugene Rapay, Iowa State. Time to give 4 of you an opportunity. Well, let's carve out some time for the chicken coop giveaway tomorrow. This just came out. We haven't really had a lot to opportunity to dissect it. Have you seen the Players Era bracket? It was just published here within the last little while. Some fascinating matchups. Iowa State's first matchup, by the way, San Diego State.
Okay.
That's where they'll start. I saw the brackets, but again, just came out. Some good games, obviously. That's what this tournament's supposed to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee, Maryland. I think Iowa State gets assuming they beat San Diego State, maybe we get the winner of Tennessee versus Maryland.
Maryland did a lot to put together a team for this year.
They spent a lot of money?
They spent a lot of money. So Maryland's anticipated to probably be at minimum a bubble-type team. I think that's the expectation level there. We know Rick Barnes has said it. If it was the old environment, he would be coaching in the
Yeah, that's true.
And yet today, where it's all right, we like this kid. This kid likes us. We have enough money. It's as simple as that. It's not sitting in hot, sweaty gems.
No, watching kids
all the time, and you just got to start when they're a freshman, and then you get this contact period when they're a sophomore.
And then you got to go eat this crappy food.
Right. It's not what it is anymore.
Right. No.
Come here, show you what you got. That's enough. You'll do it. If not, you'll go somewhere else.
It's absolutely unbelievable change. All right, so we've got games tonight, playoff-wise. Our winter sports are dwindling down to precious few games. Do you give the Cavs a chance to bounce back tonight? Numbers, what, 5.5? I think it's 5.5.
Yep.
Knicks 5.5. That seemed low to me. How did the Cavs pick themselves up after what they just went through?
That's where I'm looking to. I'm right in the same direction. I think that's going to take so much out of them.
Oh,
it took so long for them to get to that lead. They kind of had that onslaught early from the Knicks. They came roaring back and outplayed them then for the better part of 2.5 quarters, and then to collapse in that kind of fashion. Plus, I think the Knicks also learned something. It's very simple. All you do is you hunt James Harden.
You go one, yeah.
On the defensive end of the floor.
He was pretty good in that game.
He was good offensively. Well, not even. He was 5 of 16 from the floor. He doesn't want to shoot. There's times. How many shot clock violations has he had over the last couple of weeks? I'd keep attacking him.
And they're letting him shoot. I mean, he certainly had a bunch of open looks.
He did. It didn't hit enough of them down. Harden looked very old.
Yeah.
It's got to be Donovan Mitchell. Put the team on your back. I think that's the only path for them to get this one done.
Trent, in game one, I thought he was about. What did he finish with 30?
Yeah. Yes, right in that range. Yeah. He was right there. But not enough. I think this thing's got blowout written all over it. I'm scrolling through my picks here, which have been decent overall. We're doing an okay job. Well, the first one that I have for you today is yes, I will take the Knicks. I'm going to lay the 5 back. I'm going to take the Big Ten tournament. Iowa, Purdue. Give me the Boilermakers. Yesterday, I watched quite a bit of Iowa, Michigan State.
Big Ten Network?
Yes.
Yep.
They bounce back. Iowa down 2-1, takes the lead 3-2. They get a strikeout with a couple runners on. Little pops out of the catcher's net. Let's throw down to first. Throw up the right field line. We are tied up at 3. Michigan State tacked one more on, won it 4-3. As mentioned a couple of times, this team's lost quite a few pitchers to injury. That is the issue with this team. They can swing it, but after sweeping Purdue last week, all 3 games at Principal Park, now you got to beat them again here at the elimination game in the Big Ten tournament. Remember, Purdue led in all 3 of those games. I'm going to take the Boilers in the +1 first pitch, 2:03. So you missed first pitch.
Well, I got to go to Prairie, so I missed a little bit of it.
A little bit of it. I'm sure they'll have it on some of the screens there, though, on Big Ten Network. So right now we got the Knicks -5.5, Purdue +110. Give me to the Nationals and Cavalli, their pitcher, over 4.5 strikeouts. Nats +102, Cavalli over 4.5 strikeouts. We're going to play 2 more props in basketball tonight as well. Karl Anthony Towns over 11.5 rebounds in the game. And Jose Alvarado, he delivered for me 2 nights ago, as I had our buddy Slow 5 on, and he was going through his props. I handed this one to him and played it myself. Jose Alvarado over 2.5 points.
By the way, we haven't spoken since your Harrison Barn.
Oh, yes.
Over a half a rebound.
That's right. That was exciting late in the game.
He came in and hit a big shot last night, was it? Yeah, must be.
Yeah. He got 2 rebounds on his first possession in there.
Flew over and that was in the hay was in the barn.
These trap bets are fun.
Cat, by the way, had 11 rebounds in game 1. Game went to overtime. I'm not sure how many of those rebounds he recorded in the extra session or not, but it seems like a pretty good one. No feel for the puck tonight?
I don't.
11-day layoff for Carolina?
That was the only thing is if I played it, I played on in this spot.
Take Montreal?
I would, but they played a lot of hockey themselves.
They have. Do you feel bad for Buffalo at all? Or the city of Buffalo?
Not really.
Yeah, they just can't win.
Yeah.
I know.
Remember, I root for Minnesota sports teams.
That's true. You got your own scars.
Yeah, absolutely. Outside of the NFL team, that team has even maybe more scar tissue than even the other. It's not unthinkable, though.
It truly is.
They have 4 professional sports teams, and they haven't made even a championship event since 1991. 35 years.
And by the way, as good as Ant is and as good as that T-Wolves roster is, Wemby's 22.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
And Castle's 21.
And Harper's 20.
Harper's 20.
Good luck.
Good luck. And OKC's not going anywhere. So, Wembanyama, get ready, folks. This guy is unbelievable to watch. He truly is. He's just something that. Have we seen anybody like him?
No, absolutely not. Well, people talk about Bill Walton in the passing, that we didn't see a passing big guy like that in the day. Somebody could go from the top of the key, but putting it all together.
Pre-injury, Walt.
Absolutely. UCLA in early Portland. Bill Walton.
Yeah, by the time he got to the Celtics, he was,
done.
Yep. Between the ears was still there, but sadly not the case. All right, off the bench coming up next. First quarter gets underway tomorrow morning at 6. And between those two shows, well, it's Miller and Condon weekdays. We talk sports with you from noon until 2. We certainly appreciate you being with us on the Iowa Sports Radio Network.